Alrighty, time for a MTGO draft here. Drafting a little vintage cube and not forcing anything in particular. Let's just see where the draft takes us. There's a Tameo, there's a Balance, there's a Swords to Plowshares, there's a Mishra's Bauble. Steam Mints. I'm just going to take Tameo. Tameo's great. I love starting drafts with Tameo. I do like Balance, but Tameo is an awesome start. Ooh. Now there's Force of Negation, Chrome Mox, and Lutri, but I'll just take Force of Negation. Force Tameo is a nice little start. Don't mind that at all. And last time I drafted the Magic Online cube, I forced the Madness deck, which was pretty fun, actually, if you haven't seen that video. But let's draft a good blue deck here. I like that, too. Ooh, there we go. There's the Brain Freeze. Cannot resist. Look, there's a Palace Jailer and a Flage and a Flame Slash, but, like, come on. We didn't come here not to take the Brain Freeze. This is great. All right, and we'll just take a Mystical Tutor here. Goes and gets a Brain Freeze or any other combo piece I'm missing. This could be a Tinker deck, who knows. There is a Yogg-Will here and a Spire Bluff Canal. Those are both nice, but Mystical Tutor is a pretty nice card. And then here, I'm just not a big Ledger Shredder fan. I just don't think the card does that much. This is not really a Death Greeter's start. I think I'm just going to take Starting Town. Starting Town is a nice little bit of fixing, especially since I don't really know where I'll end up. Obviously, if I play the Brain Freeze, it probably means I'm blue-red, but this could go a lot of different directions. And then here, none of these cards look particularly good for me. Not really looking like a Zerda deck. I think I'd just take Talisman. Talisman's fine, I guess. Here, there's a Lumberjack, a Dark Slick Shores, a Faithless Looting. Yeah, these packs have dried up a little. I could take Looting if I end up in a Breach deck. It's pretty good. I could also just take Dark Slick. Dark Slick has a decent chance of being good, I would say. Could end up blue-black pretty easily. And then here, there's a Tar Pit, a Time Warp, Sword of the Meek. You know what? I kind of like specking on Sword of the Meek here. It's early in the draft. We have Brain Freeze, we have Sword. One of my favorite things to do in cube drafts is to take half a combo and hope the other half. And look, here's part of why. First of all, I like drafting combo, right? I like playing combo decks. I find it to be very fun. I could take Vindicate here. If I end up playing Sword of the Meek or Thopter deck, I have a Dark Slick Shores. I just don't look like a PO deck, and I don't think I want Goldspan. Besides liking combos and thinking they're good, it's also really fun to take Sword of the Meek and then to spend 2 packs thinking, ooh, can I get a Thopter Foundry? It's just like, it's a nice little bit of a kind of like a slot machine feel to it. I mean, that is a fun part about all this too. Whoa, what is Lutri still doing here? I don't know, but I'm going to take it. Suplex is fine. It's a good card, but Lutri is great, and I already even have Force of Negation. I don't want Oath. I don't want any of the cards. I just want the lands, or rather the non-land cards I don't want. This looks like a Mana Confluence deck, but I'm not that thrilled. Oh, I'll take Yogg-Will. We have Mystical Tutor and Brain Freeze. It is possible we could Yogg-Will. Look, like I said, we've got a lot of threads going here. It's a super late Death Greeters, but I think I'm more likely to play Shorikai, though I'm not that likely to play it. Oh, fine, I'll take Thespian Stage. Not going to play that one either. I actually think that they should take Stage Depths out of the cube because I think it's a trap. I don't like trapping the players, but all right. Pack 2. So looking for Thopter Foundry, looking for Underworld Breach or Lion's Eye Diamond. Looking for powerful cards, counterspells. Not whatever all this is. What do we want here? There's an Atroxa. There's 2 cards that cost the same as Breach. Neither are Breach. There's a Watery Grave, but I don't have much in the way of black. I guess I'd slightly rather have Watery Grave than Wan Shi Tong. There's also Consider, but Watery Grave's better. All right. I'll just take Watery Grave. It's fine. And then here, there's a Retrofitter. Get Lost, Doomsday, Ugin, Spellseeker, but I just don't have anything to Spellseeker right now. I could Retrofitter in case I end up with some good mana generation. There's also Undercity Sewers, Planisphere. I guess I'll just take Retrofitter, though. I'm not that thrilled about it. And then here, I guess I'll Snapcaster. It's not a great Snapcaster deck. I don't really want Animate Dead. I could also just take Ether Spellbomb, honestly. No, Snapcaster, we still have room to improve it. There's also like Thundering Falls, but I don't really care about that. All right, I'll just take Snapcaster. Oh, there's an LED? All right. That's at least forward progress. I'll take LED now. We just need Underworld Breach. Giving up a Probe. That's acceptable. I do like Probe, but All right, and LED also makes this Yogg-Will quite a bit more interesting. All right, so here there's a Hull Breacher and a Currency Converter and a Katara Waterbending Master. Which was this do again? When you cast a spell during their turn, it gets an experience counter when it attacks. This card seems pretty weak, but maybe it could do something. I guess I'll take Hull Breacher in case we have like Echo Vions as an out. It seems like good build around is nice. Oh, there's a Flash and a Chromatic Star and a Lorien Revealed. I'm just going to take Lorien Revealed. I have Force of Negation, and it already gets Watery Grave. Flash, it's a little late. I already have Hull Breacher, Sword of the Meek, Retrofitter, Yogg-Will, Brain Freeze. Like, I have a lot of stuff going on. I don't need to take Flash as well. And I think Lorien's going to be better than the Chromatic Star. All right, so we can take Teferi here. Huh. Can we support Profs? Because Profs is kind of nice if you end up with Draw 7s and Hull Breacher. But Teferi is also pretty good, though we might want a Riverfire Bird in case we do end up finding that Underworld Breach. Or maybe I should just take Night's Whisper. I'm going to take the Underworld Breach, and I'm going to pass the Thopter Foundry. How are they both in this pack? It's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could get a last pick Thopter Foundry. I'm not going to, but Underworld Breach. I would rather have Breach and Thopter in the same pack than just see neither, of course. And let's just slam Underworld Breach, and now we've got a deck. That we do. All right, Yogg-Will and Vindicate can probably get out. I just don't like Yogg-Will and Breach decks all that much, because it's like if you cast the Yogg-Will, you're losing the ability to cast Breach to a degree. Yeah, maybe this does something. If that Flash could play a Torsten. There's an Aang Swift Savior. I'm just going to take Stern Scolding. Stern Scolding is good interaction. I don't think any of these really matter. And then here, there's a Bountiful Landscape, which is a blue-red dual, albeit a bad one. And there's a Thieving Skydiver, which is a pretty good sideboard card, but I don't usually want to main deck it. I'll just take the Bountiful Landscape. Now I'll take Spellseeker, because now we're actually doing the thing. We know we're doing the thing. All right, I'll take Aether Spellbomb. I like Aether Spellbomb a lot. Yeah, over Tidebinder. I just think Aether Spellbomb is like a pretty decent card. It's a way to interact with like, Reanimator or anything that sneaks a creature in, or just like against a green deck with a big creature, but it also cycles. It's also an artifact in play. I mean, I have Retrofitter, Spellbomb, Talisman, Lion's Eye. If I saw an Academy, I would consider taking it, and then I would take it, but I would still consider it first. Here, ooh, that's a nice Oliphant. I need a blue-red duel, but I was already on the lookout for one, so I'm pretty happy picking up an Oliphant here, and then not playing any of these cards. I guess I'll pass the green cards. Ooh, Chromatic Star, Criminal. I didn't get a last pick Thopter Foundry. Well, shucks. Going into pack 3, I kind of have it all. No, I'll take a Force of Will. Becoming a really nice Lutri Lorien Reveal deck, I'll say that. Force of Will over Misty and Lightning Bolt, Xander's Lounge. Yeah, some of those would be nice to get back, but I'm going to take Force of Will here. I'm going to say I'm not playing Yogg-Will. It doesn't really look like a good Yogg-Will deck, even outside of the fact that I don't really need to play these blue-black duels. I mean, I'm a few cards short of playables, but I'm going to get to see a bunch of cards here, so I think I'll be all right. Okay, and here I'm just going to take Iteration, I think. I think Iteration's better than Consult the Star Charts. They're both pretty good. I've got a bunch of cheap cards that make Iteration nice, and then I hope to wheel Consult or Season Pyro or Firebolt. I guess Oculus is kind of a consideration, but I don't really like it in Breach decks, so let's just take Iteration here. There's an Academy, and we could wheel Candelabra. I mean, probably will. Yeah, I'll take Academy here. Academy is a nice one. Is pack 3? Is that too late? No, it's not. There's also a Preordain here, but I want to take Tellurian Academy. I always go back to that Spider-Man comic book panel. That's like, you can rewrite DNA on the fly and you just get to turn people into dinosaurs, but with tech like that, you could cure cancer. But I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs. But I don't want to take Mother of Runes. I want to take Mox Opal. Here, I will... Ooh, we could Steel Cutter here. No, I should take Pyrokinesis, I think. I have a Lutri. Pyrokinesis is so good. Okay. And this deck actually has no interaction. All right. Pyrokinesis it is, hoping for a Soul Guide Lantern on the flip side. And here, I don't really want Expedition Map, Time Spiral. I could take Mind Stone because we are Academying here. I guess Time Spiral is kind of interesting with Academy and with Hull Breacher. Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to try to get enough mana that this can work out. I'll take a ballista here. It's both a cheap artifact and an expensive artifact, depending on what you need. I don't mind passing a meticulous archive. And Lutri is there. Here, Crucible, Karn, Gush, Tendrils. I mean, I could take Karn. I don't think I'm that likely to want to play it. Yeah, Karn's okay. We might get there. And then here, oh man, as much as I like Odawara, I've got to take Ketria Triumph because it makes Lorien Revealed into red and Oliphant into blue, and this is my like last chance to do this, so let's just take Ketria Triumph and just make our mana that much better. I mean, this needs like 3 more playables here. If I can wheel some cheap artifacts, that would make this whole Academy situation a lot better. Here, there's a Taiga. So I could easily splash green, but I don't have any green cards. Oh, Saw's Chocobo. We did it. Let's just take Coalition Relic here. I don't think I'm that likely to play that either. Consult and Pyromance are both wheeled, but I'm just going to take Consult. It's more of a tutor. That is more what I'm looking for. We're still 1 playable short here, and that's with Coalition Relic and Karn in. Okay, so Candelabra wheeled, and so did Talisman. I kind of feel like I should just take Talisman. Candelabra is good with Academy, but pretty much terrible outside of it, whereas I would just play Talisman and have it be fine here. Okay, Soul Guide wheeled. All right, nice. Oh, and map. Yeah, all right. So I think, oh, and Tarfire is a decent amount of interaction. I can take out Coalition Relic. All right. I need to take out 1 card? Yeah, that's it. Not even, I was going to say a couple of cards. I could just take out Stern Scolding and call it a day here. Because if you look here, let's add some lands. I've got a Lutri and 6/3, 7/3. This is 15 lands plus the 2 land cyclers. So let's just take out Stern Scolding. We'll side it in. This actually ended up working out. I think the Academy pick ended up working out. Preordain obviously would have been good, but the Academy adds like pretty nice element to the deck. And look, I can even Expedition map for Ketria Triumph to cycle or Bountiful Landscape to cycle. Got some talismans. Yeah. All right, time for round 1. Let's reveal a Lutrizzle. And all right, pretty solid hand here. I get to force on the draw here. I can Mystical for Brain Freeze. Pyrokinesis, I can play off Lutri if I need to. And so I guess I'm a third of the way towards Breach combo. Make that 2/3. Let's go. And that does make me want to Lorien Revealed for Ketria Triumph, but I think I can wait a turn because I can always just do it next turn off the Talisman. I'm not going to force the Ruby here. All right, I'll let Imperial Seal resolve. The odds that they get a non-creature spell, I think, are pretty high. And I would rather lose than force a top deck tutor. You won't catch me doing that. I guess I could Pyrokinesis using Breach, but that sounds like a pretty poor use of Breach sources. And ooh, is this one of those delightful stroll through the garden Imperial Seals? Cast Imperial Seal, look at your deck, and now think, what am I going to get? Trust me, I've done those too. Soul Guide Lantern. Yeah, let's do that, because there's a chance that whatever they got is like an Entomb and they're trying to do some sort of reanimation thing. Or maybe they're just going to play a sneak or something. I think if I have to pick between exiling Lorien Revealed or Mystical Tutor, I guess I would exile probably the Lorien Revealed, but because by the time I draw a land, see, now this is an awkward spot. It really is. Because if I Lorien Revealed for red, I can't cast anymore. I think I do have to Lorien Revealed here. I think I actually just get Island, play an Island, and I think I'm going to put Lutri into hand. And if I have to, I'll just pitch the Lutri to Force Negation, so it would have been better off just casting Force, but I feel like this uses my mana better, and if they don't do anything, then I'm pretty happy I did that. All right. I'm going to keep this Soul Guide around because, oh, okay, so now I just need LED, which also means I can pitch Mystical Tutor without worrying. Let's just play Karn. If they counter it, I don't care. I'm just going to +1 and reveal. I really hope I don't reveal LED. Island, island. All right, well, that actually kind of works because then next turn I can just do it again. The one risk there was if I reveal LED, then Karn dies. Oh, they had Entomb. Drawing that Soul Guide, they must have felt sick to their stomach. let's hold on, let's stop end of turn, because if they Entomb like an Echo of Eons, I'm probably just going to Soul Guide it. Oh, Gristlebrand? Okay. Yeah, go for it. The fact that I have a Force of Negation in hand too means it seems pretty difficult for them to do this. Death, all right. Exile each opponent's graveyard. Corpse stands or Necromancy, all right. Force the Necromancy, pitching Mystical Tutor, I think. And they're done. They don't want to see it. Hey, you know what? I don't blame them. I would feel pretty demolished there as well. All right, let's keep going. All right, and game two here. What do I do with this hand? I guess I run it. It doesn't have Force of Negation or Soul Guide, but that's kind of annoying. And I think I'm actually just going to get an island here. Cycling the Oliphant to get another mountain seems less good. I can just go mountain, talisman, then cycle if I want. Well, I'm kind of glad I didn't mulligan because they have what looks like like a good value hand. If I mulligan too much for, oh, they milled in Tomb and Gobin. Okay, no Gristlebrand's. Oh, they cast that instead of cracking a clue? No, you can't do that. That's illegal. All right, they can flip Tamio this turn. Incredible to be casting a 1-mana cantrip instead of cracking a clue. Here, at least, they're digging for another land and it's turn 3, so it makes a lot of sense, but like, that's tough stuff. All right, well, Tamio is a really strong card, and they're going to get to flip it now, and that I don't like. Just go get a mountain here. Yeah, I'll pay 1 for Oliphant. Had to pay the troll toll. Or, no, troll. Troll had to pay me, actually. All right, they flip Tamio. I get to go Karn, make a token, I think is probably the play to threaten Tamio here. No, I'll play the LED because I don't think it's very likely they're going to blow it up. They could have a draw 7. They could have a discard spell, though. I doubt the LED would be the card discarded. Now they can get back in Tomb. It's definitely a possibility that they have a Gristlebrand in play this turn. Get back in Tomb Necromancy. The only good thing about that is I do technically have the ability to breach next turn if I hit correctly. I need breach Brain Freeze, but if as long as I have 2 mana left, I can play breach and pay for Brain Freeze with LED. So that leaves me enough mana to cast a Consult and look at the top 4, or Iteration and look at the top 3, but get to pick 2 of them. So if I'm missing both breach and Brain Freeze, I will go ahead and fire off the Iteration. Okay. They've got a Gristlebrand. Against that, it would have been better to +1 Karn, but I think that, I didn't mind taking the gamble. They didn't have that. All right. They didn't find anything else. If they have a free counter, then I'm just super dead. I mean, I might be dead either way, but we could still get out of this. I mean, we'll see. Draw, Underworld Breach. No. It's +1. Force of Will and Mountain. Okay. Island. I guess I go Iteration. Get Spell Seeker. I could Time Spiral here. Okay, so I'll put one in my hand on the bottom. Exile Time Spiral. Sack this for blue. Cast Time Spiral. Now I have to draw all 3 parts of the combo. Well, kind of. I guess I reshuffled, so I was gonna say I could brain freeze for a decent amount, but it's not gonna be enough. And now, I mean, it's not like I'm straight up just dead, but I should still look for stuff. Okay. Yes, I'll exile Soul Guide Lantern and I'll cast Tameo and Soul Guide Lantern, which I guess eats my iteration. All right. Pass the turn. They get to do a bunch of stuff here. I assume I'm dead, but it is always possible that I could just draw Underworld Breach. So discard doesn't actually change that much. All right. Yeah, you can discard my Brain Freeze. If I find Breach, I assume I'll be able to get to enough cards in graveyard. And I have a Force of Will exiled that doesn't do much for me. Took Retrofitter plus the Tameo. And do you attack me or do you attack Karn? Attacking Karn. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think the Karn matters too much because I can't really +1 it to find a combo piece. They just won't give me it, so feels like I should not. And next turn, if I draw Breach, I can go Chromatic Star, Brain Freeze myself, and hope to hit LED. Really, all that matters is if they have a counterspell. Or like a Time Walker or something. And if they have one, Collective Brutality, yeah, they can take my... They didn't want to discard a card to nug me for 2? That seems not correct. I mean, if they're going to draw a Crystal Run, they should have also done it before using Brutality and then probably discarded to Brutality. I don't know. Feels feels like they're going to have enough cards in hand. Trading one for a deal 2, gain 2 seems pretty good. Underworld Breach waiting room. I guess I have a little bit of time here, funnily enough. All right, they didn't play anything else. Let's draw. There's Mystical Tutor. Next star. Attack Tamia, attack my opponent. So the Karn token is big enough to kill the Tamio if they don't have anything. Okay, set this for blue. Card. This. Draw a card. Ooh, consult the star charts. Okay. +2 Tamio. Land. Talisman. Sego. I don't think I have anything to Mystical Tutor for now that Time Spiral's gone. And Brain Freeze is my graveyard. Iteration is gone as well. So, I mean, I think Consult was one of the last cards I could go for. Consult at least can help find both LED and Underworld Breach if I don't get discarded again this turn. Kind of a shame the Brain Freeze isn't in my deck. There is a chance that I could have Brain Freezed them out just naturally. But there. Cameo's down. You go to 26. Oh, they're going to ninja me? I could Mystical Tutor, but I don't think I need to do that. All right. Let's see what you exiled. Walking Ballista, Force of Negation. Sure, neither of those really do anything. So I think what I'm going to do is crack Soul Guide to draw a card end of turn. Sure. I don't think that matters too much. I'm really not going to win off of... I mean, we'll see what they do, I guess. I just assume if they had a counter already somewhere in their deck, they would have been able to find it. I guess I don't know. Oh, they're going to grief me? Yeah, that matters a lot, actually. Let's see. I guess I cast Consult. Because if I find LED, that's pretty good. Ether Spellbomb, Lorien Revealed, Pyrokinesis. Gonna take Ether Spellbomb. All right, well, I got 5 cards off the top that don't do anything. I'm gonna get to cycle a couple cards and then probably concede, but it's definitely possible I could win. So my bottom 4 cards are nothing. So 13 cards, Underworld Breach among them. And I technically have like another turn here because Gristlebrand has been killing all my planeswalkers. Guess I'll sack this to draw. If I drew Underworld Breach, I could just win. Spell Seeker, I don't think I have even a cantrip or anything. I think I have to get, so I have Underworld Breach and a bunch of cards. They don't do anything. Right, play a map. Pass the turn here. And cracking the Soul Guide does open the door for them to have another reanimation turn, but I don't think that does too much. Okay, they get to attack again. What a funny game. I guess I'll block the ninja. Take 9, I go to 6. They Malcolm. I mean, they can draw their whole deck if they want. I guess what I can do here is actually Mystical Tutor for Lorien Revealed, and then Lorien Revealed. Let's see. Okay. Well, I don't know how I'm going to beat a Dothy Voidwalker. 14. The grief. I think I'm just going to get the Lorien Revealed, and there's a chance I can just kind of manually Brain Freeze them out with only casting the 1 Brain Freeze. Even with a Dothy Voidwalker there, I think. Actually, if I find Underworld Breach, I have an Ether Spellbomb in my graveyard. Man, I actually think I would win if I found Underworld Breach there, because I go Underworld Breach, Spellbomb. I mean, assuming I drew the LED. Okay. I guess what I can do here, technically, I've cast 1 spell, 2 spells. Sure, why not? Cycle. Response, sack this for blue. Okay, I did not draw Underworld Breach. It was like in the bottom, like 5. Or no, I reshuffled, so. All right, well, they have a lot of discards, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. Stern Scolding stops Grief and Tameo and Malcolm and Dothy Voidwalker, so I think that's probably worth it. List also seems okay. Just ways to kill Dothy Voidwalker are kind of nice. I could maybe cut Spellseeker. That's kind of nice against all the discard to have something like that. Maybe I cut Map. Map seems like it's a little slow. All right. Let's do it. I'm on the play. Reveal Alutri, and all right, no Soul Guide, but I can play turn 1 Retrofitter because I think that's the one I care more about getting duressed. It is. I mean, Ether Spellbomb's also very good against them, but especially with Academy in my deck, it feels like the Retrofitter, having that out is going to be pretty nice. And that's the turn. I have Force. I'm not going to force a duress. Plus, if they duress me, they probably just take Force anyway. I can crack this for red if I want, though. I'm probably turn 2 just making a Retrofitter token. I guess it'll depend what they do. A little bit. I mean, if they turn 1 Imperial Seal, that's a very different thing. All right. Lorien Revealed. I don't really need the Bountiful Landscape to get red quite yet. So let's just pass. Because if I draw Academy, making these tokens is going to work out really nicely. If they play Dothy Voidwalker, I probably will Force of Will that. Partially because if they have Voidwalker out, then they duress me and get a Force of Will under the Voidwalker. It's really annoying. Next turn, see if I draw a land. And if I do, I can maybe just play Spellseeker for like iteration or something. Grief? Pitching Exhume. Yeah, you can grief me. Take my Force of Will. If they're just reanimating grief here, that's not that bad. They take Force and then they take like one of these other blue cards, whichever one they think is more annoying. Like I'm not that close to casting either of these, but it's not like Spellseeker does all that much. And then Life Death, yeah, sure. That is not too scary. They used up 2 reanimation spells because they pitched Exhume. They cleared the way, so if they then untap and have Entomb, Necromancy, or whatever, then yes, then double discard into reanimate will be bad. Lorien revealed. All right. Suppose so. I just am not that worried about it. I mean, I could have cycled Lorien revealed. Let's just draw land. It's probably easier. Well, Ballista. Well, it doesn't really do too much for me. Let's just play Ether Spellbomb, pass the turn. I can use Retrofitter to make this into a 1/1 flyer, which then makes it into a 4/4. And I have Spellbomb to maybe bounce their thing. The other thing is, there's Menace, so I can't block. If I hit them with a 4/4 once or twice, then Reanimating Gristlebrand's not even that strong because I can bounce it and they can't really draw cards. And duress my Time Spiral. Play a Tameo. And that works out nicely. Let's go Spellseeker. Pick up, I think, just iteration. I could take Consult the Star Charts here, but I can crack the landscape to get red. I'll cast iteration eventually. I think they actually should not attack with Grief here, because if they do, I'll make Thopter into a 4/4 and I'll double block. Guess we'll find out. They can crack a Clue. If they haven't drawn a land, that's a slightly weak play. All right, Grief's coming in. Blocking doesn't really do much. If they had Ninja Man up, I guess I would technically block, but I mean, if they don't have anything, they might just crack, or if they don't have a land, they might just crack the Clue to draw a card. I guess, oh, they drew a Ruby. Okay. And to stock up. Nice. They drew their 3rd land. That's unfortunate. It wasn't even a land, so now they can stock up into a land and a spell. That's pretty good. All right. Well, I now think I'm slightly behind. If I draw Academy, I think I'm in the driver's seat. If I draw Mountain, I could consider iteration, or I could play like a Ballista for 2. I'm going to get to bash them for 4 here unless they chump. And I have Ether Spellbomb in play, so if they do their first animate, I do have a Spellbomb. I really would like to not cycle the Spellbomb, or not use the Spellbomb until they animate something. It's kind of the plan. Okay, and they didn't get a land. Okay, that's kind of scary. Oh man, that could be really strong. Attack with the construct and pass the turn. And it's not even that suspicious because I've got they know I have Ballista iteration, but I have Retrofitter, so I might. This looks like I'm going to use Retrofitter and crack landscape to get a red. So hopefully they just start things out by cracking the Clue. That would be very strong for me. All right, well. They're attacking with the Grief is a good move because they're trading 3 for 1, but I feel like my life total doesn't matter that much and theirs is pretty relevant. So I guess we'll see though. Did they just take 2 spells and they were hoping to draw a land on their turn? You just crack a Clue. The Clue will find you a land. You really should crack a Clue right now. Let's do it. Yeah, you're cracking a Clue. No, they're not. What a shame. Collective Brutality, discarding Gristlebrand. -2, -2. Okay. Fine by me. Just play the Hull Breacher. We'll consider in response. Sure. Made them wait till end of turn, though. That's nice. They maybe drew a land. Who knows? Told you they were going to regret attacking with Grief. Attack for 7. They go to 5. Play Ballista for 1. I can consult the star charts, try to find a land. Then play Ballista. I wouldn't have Spellbomb up, but I don't know how much that matters. I think I'll just play a Ballista for 1 and leave with Spellbomb up. I really don't think I need to consult here. Okay, well, they don't have a lot of cards in hand now. They're dying to my Retrofitter token. The Hull Breacher got a good hit in. Pass the turn and do nothing, sure. Play a land. Just gonna attack with my construct and probably just pass the turn. It's kind of on them to do something here. I even have enough mana to Spellbomb and replay Hull Breacher if I need to. Hull Breacher was a sick draw. Turns out that was probably one of the better ones. Because I don't know what they're up to, but this doesn't seem like a good spot for them. They can't take it. They've got a block. Or play a removal spell, but I kind of feel like if they had a removal spell, that's not the creature they would kill, so we'll let them decide. Right, now they're casting Necromancy mid-combat. Okay. Gristlebrand. All right. Bounce the Gristlebrand. They still have to chump here. The Tamiyo's not doing a whole lot because they can't really do anything with it. So I think I'll just pass. I could consult, but there's not much I can consult for. I can't consult into a counterspell. I don't have another blue card to pitch for my Force of Negation if I were to find it. I guess I could have consulted to find Soul Guide Lantern exactly, but I'd kind of rather just make a Retrofitter token. And maybe save this to when I can kicker it, or just know what I want more. I think there's a good chance this card doesn't get cast this game. We'll see though. See if they've got anything. Grief gonna attack me? I should have actually sacked this to get him out, and I just tapped it without thinking about it. At 5. Okay, just attack with everything. They block Hull Breach or they just die. Nice. That was a nice little dub. All right, time for round 2. Whew, that was a sick game. Did not think game 3 was going great, but on the play here. Turn 1 Tamiyo. This hand's really good if I hit a land. If I miss, I play Chromatic Star. Then I can flip Tamiyo. All right, you know what? I'm gonna run it. Look, here's the thing. I can flip Tamiyo real fast on this hand. And I guess I could crack a LED for a clue at some point if I really wanted to, though. That I think I'm less likely to want to do. Okay, I don't like whatever's going on here. Turn on Fanatic of Ruin is just pretty good. Let's play Star and send with Tamiyo. Then next turn, crack Star. Hopefully draw a land, crack Clue, flip Tamiyo. That could be one way to do it. Could also just play Talisman. Or could draw Academy. Did you think about that? Drawing Academy would actually just be disgusting. Let's see what they got. Geez, Badgermole Cub just pays for itself right away because they already can just tap for 4 mana now. All right. Well, if they have a big play here, then I don't like my hand, or I didn't like my chances against that regardless, but let's hope. Yeah, you have to tap first. Just the way it works is a little weird. Oh, they're not playing something? All right. Guess that plays. Oh, pyrokinesis, huh? Attack with Tamio, make a clue. Post combat. I'm gonna sack Chromatic Star. So here's the plan. Here's a good plan. Crack this, draw a land, play a land, crack the land, draw a red card for pyrokinesis. That would be pretty good. All right, let's see if that pans out. I'll sack this for a blue. All right, fair enough, fair enough. It did not work out. I mean, I guess I could have played on a little, but I didn't think I was that likely to do much. Playing against that deck, do I want like a Tarfire in instead of like a Force of Negation? Yeah, I'll try doing it that way. All right. Let's battle. I would like to play first. Should I keep another one-lander? No. This hand is not amazing. Actually, I think I'll mulligan this hand. This hand just doesn't do anything. Okay, this hand is slightly better. I mean, I'll keep it on 6. And I think I'm going to put back Lorien Revealed, and then I'm going to just get Mountain with Oliphant on turn 1. All right. All right. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. Lorien Revealed is done. They did not mulligan. And do I fire off Iteration on turn 2? Probably not, but I could have kept Lorien Revealed instead of an island. But I think the marginal value of being able to cycle for a Ketria Triumph is outweighed by if I just draw a 2-drop here, it's so much better to just have a basic island on turn 3 here. Ooh, like a Retrofitter? Well, the funny thing is drawing Retrofitter means that I could have kept Lorien Revealed and cycled it, but I don't even know if that's better because now I still have Lorien Revealed in my deck instead of a land. And I still wouldn't really want to get Ketria Triumph. I'd still actually just want to get Island. So, yeah. Okay, then next turn Iteration and then play Karn on 4. Something like that. They didn't have Landmox 2-drop, which is nice, but we'll see what they have on turn 2 here. Island go. Huh. Well, there's Academy. I think I'll still Iteration. If they have a counter, they can use it. Okay. And I think I'm just going to play Academy. The downside of playing Academy is it opens it up to Wasteland or Strip Mine, but there's a chance I'm going to Iteration next turn and just want to play a land off it, in which case, and have Academy in play, because maybe I'll have 2 artifacts. The other thing this does is it gives them a little more incentive to blow up Retrofitter, but they kind of already had that anyways. Too worried. All right. Talisman Fanatic. There's a Hull Breacher. I don't mind that. Let's just Iteration here. Oh, baby. There we go. So I'm going to put Mountain in hand. Exile LED. Play LED. Play a land. And now I have Hull Breacher up, which could be nice, or using Retrofitter. Those are both, I think, are pretty good options. Island Time Spiral. That would be nice. Seems pretty unlikely. But, I mean, they might cast a cantrip here. You never know. There's a lot of things they could do. If they don't play one of those things, I'll probably just use Retrofitter because that makes me more mana in the future as well. Ancient Tomb. Okay, so they have 7 mana here. They could just like cast a Vaultborn Tyrant. Though I wouldn't mind that either, actually, because I'd still get to play Hull Breacher. I don't want to see as a Pest Infestation. Kind of feels like what this is. Indeed, it is. Okay. Um, I think I'm gonna make a 1/1. To pests. That's annoying. The next turn, what do I do here? Land. I can play Hull Breacher and then do nothing else this turn. I think I'm going to play Karn. And I think minus it to make token here. Attack with all their pests, or I could plus it. Because plussing it is an option as well. Maybe Snapcaster iteration's better. Karn goes up to 6, and then I block a pest token. It would still die if they attacked with everything. I think I'll just make I'll -2 this, make a 0/0, well, be a 2/2. And then I could even cast Snapcaster if I want, though I don't know how likely it is I'm going to do that. Karn resolves. -2. I mean, technically I can also play a Snapcaster to block if I really needed to, but it doesn't seem like that's very likely to be profitable. Pest Infestation kind of wrecked me here. I was going to have so much more mana. This is an awkward turn. There's just no way to be efficient. I mean, I guess maybe Snapcaster iteration was like the most likely to be efficient, but if I had enough mana, maybe I should have just played Hull Breacher last turn. I'm not sure. Titan Karn. I'll block one of them. I mean, if they could kill my servo, I lose my construct as well, but just I'm not gonna worry about that. Don't think I can continue to play around everything. I think getting a 1/1 off the board for free could make a pretty big difference. Hull Breacher would have been a nice one to play in the face of Uro. Well, they're not that close to bringing it back. Oh, they get to tap their Fanatic for 4 mana. Look at that. Do they have a land to put into play? If they don't, it's kind of bad for me too. Yeah, I'm just getting kind of worked here. I mean, if I draw Underworld Breach, actually I think I win, right? I go Breach, play LED, cast Spellseeker, in response crack LED, and then Brain Freeze. It's Tracker. They haven't played a land yet. They put a land into play from Uro. Wow, okay, well, playing Hull Breacher would have worked out a lot better, I'll say that. Let's see what their last cards are, if they play them. I kind of hope they don't crack their clues yet, because it would be really nice to be able to snag some with Hull Breacher. I'm not going to bring back Uro this turn, though. The Wooded Foothills and the Hedge Maze kind of makes it close. And on my next turn, I guess what I can do is I can go like Spellseeker for Brain Freeze, pass. Pearl, too. A lot of power over there. All right. Crack clue. Pass the turn, hopefully. I think you've done enough. Okay, there's Mystical Tutor. Actually, I'm just going to Snapcaster iteration and try to hit a land drop here. They crack their clue in response here, then, So sad, I guess. But I kind of feel like they're not that likely to. All right, they did not. 3 lands. All right. Pass the turn here. Now crack the clue, end of turn. I mean, I assume be a little weird not to. They don't know about the Hull Breacher. And that's pretty big for me because a treasure token with Academy in play is really nice. Any bolts? No, it does not appear that they have a bolt. Well, hopefully, if they don't have a removal spell for Hull Breacher, this turns off their Tireless Tracker clue generation, and bringing back Uro is really not that spectacular. They're actually even a card short of bringing back Uro. And they can attack with Tireless Tracker, but I could block with Construct plus Snapcaster maybe. Then even if they crack the clue, I take it down. Their pest tokens don't do that much here. All right. I could upkeep Mystical. I could get Lorien revealed. Sounds kind of nice. Glad to have that Lorien revealed in my deck. I mean, I guess if they have a counter, then that's a little annoying, but because I wasted... Oh, I could just get Time Spiral. Let's just do that, actually. I'm glad I have the Time Spiral in my deck. 6, and sure, 7. Okay. They've got a counter, they've got a counter. If not, put another notch in Hull Breacher's... I guess probably has a belt there, yeah. Has an axe, certainly. I mean, Hull Breacher won me last game, or not last game, last round, I think, and stopped the Gristlebrand Necromancy, stopped all the Tamiyo clues, and it looks like it's doing some pretty good stuff here, since if they could have killed it, they would have. Oh, they're just going to keep playing? All right. I mean, I concede earlier than most people, I will admit that, but in this particular case, okay, yeah, they're done. they figured it out. All right, going to game 3. Yeah, Force Negation still didn't seem great. Stern Scolding on the draw. You take out this map again. All right, I guess I'm in for that. All right, time for game 3. Okay, well, I've got Brain Freeze LED in my opening hand, so that's pretty good. Academy LEDs at least start to something nice. Don't have a blue card for Force, so hopefully they don't come out guns blazing. Guess I'll still play Bountiful Landscape and crack it to get red, even though I just drew a mountain, so it's kind of irrelevant. I mean, I can have Force up on turn 3 when I go get Lutri. So there's that. And they're going to get to play 3-drop and maybe even a 4-drop before then. So if they go like land 3-drop here, it could be pretty bad. I mean, I guess if it's like an Uro, it's not too bad. Oh. Okay. I guess Tishana's Tidebinder is a thing, so let's just chill. Land. Soul Guide. Soul Guide is actually kind of nice. It's not exiling anything on play, but I get to sack it to draw a card, and it also charges up this Academy. So depending on what I want to do next turn, I might go LED, Academy, cast Karn. Especially if I draw a blue card to pitch to Force of Will. I really don't want to pitch Brain Freeze. No plays. Yeah, I don't know. Getting Tidebinder would really, really suck. So seems like there's not that many 3-mana plays. They could have been keeping up Hull Breacher. They could have been keeping up Cycle, like a Triumph, but they didn't do that. I think Tidebinder is somewhat likely, or at least certainly in the realm of possibilities. And given that I already have red mana, I don't really need to sack this Bountiful Landscape. If they play something I absolutely want to force, I could consider cracking Soul Guide Lantern, though I don't really want to do that either. I mean, if they play like a Minsk and Boo, though, I would probably be compelled to do that. Screaming Nemesis, you know, that is not it. I think Screaming Nemesis is okay. I do get to sack my Bountiful Landscape now. Like, I don't even know if I'd want to force Screaming Landscape, even if I had a blue card to pitch. That wasn't Brain Freeze, of course. Yeah, let's get Mountain. 16. Draw. Oh. Okay, so let's go Retrofitter. LED. Academy. Let's go Karn. I'm going to plus Karn, and they can attack it with their Nemesis, and that's fine. Hit Ether Spellbomb, Mana Confluence. So I'm going to get a Mana Confluence in my hand. Pass the turn. I was hoping to hit a bad blue card. Lorien Revealed plus Ether Spellbomb, and they give me Lorien Revealed or something, but I still think this is pretty decent. Also, I could consider pitching Brain Freeze to Force of Will here, because now that I have Academy, Retrofitter, Karn, I kind of have a legit path to victory. Dak Faden. Yeah, all right. I think I'm gonna force it. I don't love it. If I get reprieved here or remanded here, it's gonna be so annoying. Oh my god. Oh, if it's Spell Pierce though, that's fine. If it's Spell Pierce, I'm sacking LED for mana leak. All right. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about that, and so now I'm gonna have to win. Probably Hull Breacher here, because they're gonna steal Retrofitter. It's like the only thing that really makes sense. They had Dak Faden plus Remand. Oh, they stole LED? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Wow. They must not have been paying attention to what I pitched, because that LED doesn't do a whole lot. Okay. Well, they attack Karn. Yeah, that's fine. All right. I kind of think we're in good shape here now. What am I gonna do with Karn? What to do? Let's see. If I make a token, I have 3 untap. So if I make a Retrofitter, whether or not I use Karn or Retrofitter, so I think I'm gonna -1 Karn, get Ether Spellbomb. Spellbomb. That's the turn. And I have make a token, block Screaming Nemesis, untap, sack the token, and I can still force pitch and consult the star charts if I need to. They discarded 2 lands, sure. I mean, Pest Infestation, I think I can't let happen. All right, please reveal Pest Infestation. Though they hit kind of junk, which, given they're only keeping 1, is reasonable for them. They might actually. They have a kind of cool play at some point here, which is they could have left the Fanatic in the graveyard and then brought it back with LED if they needed to. Geez, Cradle? Okay. Oh, they're playing Fanatic before, or tapping Cradle before playing this. That's interesting. So they must not have that much more to do. 1 card left? All right. I actually kind of think we're doing fine here. I mean, Dak Faden's pretty good and annoying, but I am going to get to make a flyer here. Yeah, attack with the elf is good. That'll put Karn to 1. Attack with just Screaming Nemesis is just not going to do anything. Yeah, they got to attack with the elf. All right, so let's make a servo. Screaming Nemesis. Tap Retrofitter. Servo make a flyer, which can then attack Dak. and make it so Dak can't steal Retrofitter. Draw for the turn. Talisman's actually a totally reasonable draw. Attack Dak Phaeton. Let's start by plussing Karn. Revealing Mountain Island. All right. Play a land. It's free to play Talisman. So now I can tap this for 5 mana. So I have 8 mana. So I could put Lutri into hand. Then maybe I give up Karn. But then I don't have to pitch. I don't really want to pitch Consult the Star Charts because that's going to find Hull Breacher, Time Spiral. At least that's my plan. They do get to Dak. So. Oh, they played Ancient Tomb before using Dak Phaeton. So that's either a mistake, which definitely possible, or they have a really expensive card in hand. But they know I have Forcible and Lutri in hand, so like they kind of know it's not going to resolve. Okay. Dacking. Oh, their last card's... No, that was just a mistake. Their last card's Fanatic of Ronus, which they can discard, which they chose not to. Yeah, they didn't get too punished because they just drew Badgermole Cub Forest, but could have been a lot worse. All right, I think Karn is going to go down here. Oh, no, Fanatic's in play. What am I thinking? Their last card, I don't know what it is. They can kill Karn, but I can make a 1/1 and... So the question is, do I want to... I have one unknown in hand. There's a decent chance I force it. Oh, they just did nothing? Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. I don't even know if I want to make a 4/4. What is this? Oh, they did have Pest Infestation in hand or something. Wait, is this like an Eldrazi or something? Or are they just casting Pest Infestation for 1,000 when they know I have Force of Will? I think I'm just going to hardcast Force of Will here. No, this has to be an Eldrazi. They're sacking a token? What is going on? All right. Bizarre. All right. And then I'm going to sack this and make a 4/4. And then I'm going to Spellbomb the thing. But first, let's go land. Let's see. Tap this for 5. Let's go hold on control. Cast this with Kicker. And cast Lutri. Okay. I mean, I get to look at 12 cards here now. I think we're actually in pretty great shape. Yeah, they're done. All right, well, I don't feel like I should have won that one because I think if they just dacked my Retrofitter, I would have lost, but we take those and we are 2-0. All right, I'll reveal Lutri. I'm on the draw here. All right, I've done a surprisingly small amount of brain freezing my opponent for being 2-0, I feel like, but you know, we take those as they come. I will keep this hand. Turn 1 Tameo. Not a whole lot else going on. Soul Guide's good against some people. I have a Breach, so if I find the pieces for that, I can do that. Oh, well, turn 1 Fast Bond. Let's see how well it does. Fast Bond does not have a super high hit rate, I wouldn't say, but into 3-bit Inspector. All right. Yeah, that's more like it. Oh, that means I have a pretty good chance of being able to win on turn 4 here. Turn 3 Spellseeker for Brain Freeze, and I have to find... So they must have just drawn the Lush Portico. Obviously, they would have played that last turn. So I have to find just LED. Kept a card on top. Next turn. Probably just cracking a clue. Hull breacher. Hull breacher is a good one as well, even if not quite at the point to be able to use it. Take to crack a clue. So far, Fast Bond has let them play one additional land. Particularly strong card. They might still utilize it this turn. Swamp. Atraxa colors here. Into a Sika's Chariot. Okay. I guess I could have cracked in response to draw a Force of Will, but I don't think I would have forced any of those things. So now the question is, do I play Hull Breacher or do I play Spell Seeker? And I'm going to attack with Tamiyo. I think I play Hull Breacher because I don't have LED in hand. And if I find LED, I could still win on like turn 5. So it only speeds me up by a turn because I can still turn 5, just play these two and have LED. So this way I get to block the Thraven Inspector and take a little bit less damage. And then if they have any sorcery speed card draw, it stops that. I do think I am going to play the Hull Breacher here, though. This game does look like it's going to come to damage, and killing the Thraben Inspector seems pretty reasonable. They certainly could have a removal spell if they can. Then if they have one, then so be it as well. Go to 15 here. They also haven't killed the Tamiyo yet, which doesn't mean they don't have a removal spell, but obviously makes it a little bit less likely. Tamiyo's usually pretty good to kill. Hex Drinker. All right. So I gotta move a little fast here. I also might go flip Tamiyo this turn. I think that's probably good. Back with Tamiyo. Because just crack clue, draw a card, crack clue, draw a card, plus Tamiyo. I mean, I'm not going to die next turn. I might die in 2 turns, but I feel like I'm going to see a pretty good amount of cards here. So, oh, Academy's interesting. I wonder if, I guess if I'd cracked first, I would have been able to not maybe play a different land instead. Didn't play Chromatic Star and do it. Yeah. Got better. Didn't really think about drawing Academy. So next turn, let's see. They crew Chariot. I could chump with Hull Breacher if I want, but drawing Time Spiral is also a pretty good out. So I think I'll let these two kill the Tamiyo. They're sending. Oh, both at me. All right. Go to 9. Sure. Let's see what they got here. No plays. Oh, now I can get something back, though that doesn't help me too much. I'm at 9 next turn. They didn't level this up at all. I mean, Spellseeker is a decent blocker. The other thing I can do is with Tamiyo. Yeah, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Spellseeker. Or actually, let's go Chromatic Star. Play Soul Guide Lantern. So I'll look 3 even, I guess. And then I can Spellseeker. I can just get the Brain Freeze. And next turn, I can cast a double Brain Freeze. I can just cast a bunch of Brain Freezes and look for my Lion's Eye Diamond here. And I'm going to plus Tammy on the way. And Spellseeker, no response. I think that the getting the brain freeze is good. Oh, I need to plus Tamio. Really bad if I don't. Let's just go ahead and do that. Plus two, two, three. Yeah, it's going to be fairly hard for them to kill me, I would say, but definitely possible. Because they need to crew this, and I can block those two. I guess if they make Hex Drinker pro everything, it hits for 5, puts me to 4, but then the rest of this stuff does not. So right as things go right now, I think I'm just gonna block the Hex Drinker and take 3, 4, 5 damage down to 4. I don't think that ends up being bad. And I'll keep the Hold Breacher. Hold Breacher could be stopping them from casting a card draw spell, and it also means if I just draw Time Spiraler, I can just cast that. They could easily have a counterspell here. Can't stop that, so my plan is to go untap, cast Breach, cast Brain Freeze, cast Brain Freeze, and that should be enough to find LED most of the time. Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. And I even get to draw a card off Star and Lantern if I want. So, well, I guess we'll see. They're going to play something here. Best Infestation on my Soul Guide Lantern. All right. Guess I'll draw a card. Interesting. All right. Yeah, I mean, I guess I cast Underworld Breach. Play a land. Brain Freeze myself. See if I can hit an LED. Force of Will, Retrofitter. Doesn't do much. Though Retrofitter actually is something. Because what I can do is I can cast Retrofitter out of the graveyard, tap Academy for 2 mana, sack Star, draw a card, and then Brain Freeze again, and that lets me see an extra 3 cards. They have a response here. I mean, if they have anything, I'm super dead. They have Endurance or something? Suppose they could. Oh, I hit LED. Okay, well, there we go. Switch those, play LED. Now Endurance does not do it. I even hit LED on the second Brain Freeze, so they never have a window to cast Endurance. And is there a way... Okay, so now they're casting Endurance. So I can Brain Freeze myself for 15. I can Brain Freeze them for 15. If I had a blue card in hand, I could force, but unfortunately not. Let's see. I guess what I can do is I can crack Star, so I can tap this for a blue Star. Blue card? Oh, there we go. Target Endurance. Oh. Oh, never mind. I can't this is not escape cost. No, I can't alt cast Force Will. Okay, so what does Brain Freezing do? Brain Freeze them for 15. That doesn't really accomplish anything. Okay, I guess I let Endurance resolve. Endurance me. I also, funnily enough, hit Time Spiral, which would have been nice too. So let's go. Sack this for red. Minus Tameo, get back iteration. Cast iteration. Okay, there's Mystical Tutor. So this in hand, this on the bottom. Exile Mystical Tutor. Let's see. Play LED, exiling these 3. Oh, I think we can barely get there because I had to put the land in hand too. So sack this for blue. And then Mystical Tutor, hit Brain Freeze. Then cast Iteration, exiling these 3. Tell me that's not a sick kill. Exactly everything, all my mana. I had 1 mana extra, I guess. All the cards in hand, using Tameo. And now I get to put, let's see, Brain Freeze in hand, exile Snapcaster, and then Brain Freeze myself for 12 or something. Actually, I'll probably do it for everything for 6. Because I want to get the... So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the rest on you. I want to get my Soul Guide out just in case they have an Eldrazi as well. That was cool. LED Breach is such a powerful combination. There's a lot of things you can do with it. I mean, obviously you end up brain freezing with it pretty much all the time, but it just is a very powerful engine. And LED more powerful than Black Lotus in those situations, I'll say. All right, so Tarfire and Stern Scolding are both pretty nice. Another Pest Infestation deck, which kind of does make me want Force of Negation. I'm fine taking out a map. Maybe not Tarfire. It kills Hullbreach or Hex Drinker, but that's about it. All right, reveal Lutri. Though I guess I should have known it was going to work out because they played a fast bond, so you're going to win the game. Yeah, I'll run this. This hand is only got a third of the combo, but it's got Cycling / Disruption, and it's got Consult the Star Charts. So, oh, they lit on Island. It seemed to be the most useful land in their deck. Playing against Pest Infestation and Endurance. Let's go turn 1 Ketria Triumph. Pass the turn. Pyrokinesis is a nice pickup because, well, presumably they have like some elves or something. They have Spell Pierce in their hand. Be a reason to do that, I guess. Here, I'll play an Ether Spell. Let me know Spell Pierce it. Okay, I'll play Tameo. I guess they could have Stern Scolding. It'd be a little weird to have Stern Scolding in against me, but no, they have it. Okay. All right. I don't have a lot of targets for that, and they played Island on turn 1, but it looks like not a card that should be in their deck or is good in their deck or is good against me, so I wasn't going to play around it. Not that playing around it really was even that helpful anyways. Not casting Tameo is not really helping me, especially since it looks like they're leaving their mana up again. On my next turn, I'm just going to go land and put Lutri into hand because I want to play Consult next turn, and now I have a way to use Pyrokinesis. And yeah, they're not doing anything. I guess they could play an Endurance here. Start getting in for 3. Oh, Once Upon a Time. Guess they must have just drawn that, or they would have fired it. They missed with Once Upon a Time? That's really hard to do. No lands, no creatures. They just looked at 5 spells and were like, yeah, I guess that's it. All right. Fair enough. Let's see here. Take my turn. Oliphant, that doesn't do anything. I'm just going to consult with Kicker here. It doesn't really help to try to set up Lutri. It's 7 mana to Lutri with Kicker, and casting Consult Lutring it is just same as kicking Consult, so I should just kick Consult. Are they way more of a counterspell deck than I thought? Or what's going on here? Right? Deathrite Shaman is fine. I mean, I'm just going to go for it. I don't know. If they have a counter, that's fine, I suppose. Old Breacher, Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, thanks. I will take those. Take my turn. Oh, Forcible is nice. Okay. Let's pass the turn here, and I guess if I want to snap Consult, I should do it now. I don't even know that I want to do that. I might. Oh, you know what I might do? In fact, there's a pretty good chance. Oliphant to get a mountain, Hull Breacher, then Mystical for Time Spiral, then go land, Time Spiral with Force of Will up, pitching Snapcaster Mage or Lutri. So what I kind of want them to do is just play something here. Oh yeah, Earthbender Ascension, fantastic. I'm going to try this one in my cube, the Earthbender Ascension. I don't know if it's good, but it's at least kind of interesting. So for 3 mana, you get to make one of your lands a 2/2 and get a tapped land. So it's a ramp spell that also puts a kind of a 2/2 into play. And then you also, when you've hit your 4th land with this in play, you start getting +1/+1 counters per land, which is also kind of nice. Okay. Mountain cycle this. I mean, this is going to work. I would have Mystical Tutor. And Spiral. And Hull Breacher for the trophy. Let's go. You know what's coming. You know what's coming. They could have a counter, or they could have... It's just really hard for them to have 2 pieces of interaction here, is my guess. Actually, here, let's just do it all. Actually should have done this first, because I realized I had Snapcaster Mage to pitch to Force of Will. So this would have also made it so they don't even have mana. But given that I have Force of Will, I guess technically I could run into them having Swords to Plowshares plus Fatal Push or Path to Exile or something, you know, two removal spells. It would not appear that's the case. They do get to trigger their Earthbender Ascension, though. It's about to get another counter. All right. Time Spiral. Oh man, I don't get to play Academy this turn? Brutal. Let's consult with Kicker, because if I find... I mean, they don't need to see anymore. They see what's coming. The writing on the wall. And boom. Nice little stimmy there. Some play points and QPs, and actually I don't really know. I don't pay attention. All right, well, I will say that Breach win in game 1 was really sick, and it kind of makes up for the fact that I won. Well, I was going to win by Breach or Breach, though I guess I won by Retrofitter once, kind of. Hull Breacher won me more games than the Breach combo. Even kind of weak Hull Breacher deck, just Spiral, though it did have Force of Will to protect it and Force Negation. It's pretty nice. The free counters with Hull Breacher are obviously very good. But this was a medium Academy deck. A pretty good Underworld Breach deck, because I didn't have tons of card draw. I mostly had, Consult and Iteration, and I guess Time Spiral. But I had a lot of ways to find Brain Freeze, specifically with Mystical Tutor and Spellseeker. Had double counter, had Force of Will and Force of Negation and Pyrokinesis. So a lot of free spells with really good Lutri deck. Tameo's great. Okay mana, you know. A tap duel, a tap dish duel, and then 2 painful lands, but that's still okay. And you know, not not the best Karn in the world, for example, but overall very solid deck, and we won some really nice matches. That was fun. So that'll do it for today. And you know what? Got to scratch the Breach itch, which doesn't always happen. I really love getting to play with Underworld Breach, so I'm very happy about that. All right, I'll be back tomorrow. We'll play some more games. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out the channel, and you won't miss a single draft.